I'll leave these links for the dismount, man. I'm out of here with this one. They still spraying us, especially right here in India Superior. Love to Michael Rourke .wordpress, gave us a great drop on Kalalus as well. And I'll leave these, we'll dig on more later, but this is why they spraying Nagas and doing all these testing on the Hebrews, and this is what the Saracen takeover is all about. Doomnight versus 1452 Papal Bull. The Grand Canyon, what's being found, right? Connected with G.E. Kincaid. Embarked on a journey. Yeah, okay. Hijack City. Everybody's invading. He found a whole treasure cave, scaled the 2,000 foot with great difficulty, hauling his camera, glass plates with him. According to the April 9, 1909 Arizona Gazette, Kincaid discovered a cave entrance. Upon entering, he discovered what was called the most important archaeological find in North America. Because this is India Superior. And what did they find? An underground citadel. The cave was reportedly vast, with hundreds of chambers filled with mummies and artifacts. Hundreds of chambers filled with artifacts. Why do they block off over 1 million acres around the Grand Canyon today? Hundreds, could easily be thousands of chambers filled with artifacts, bodies on bodies that appear to be Egyptian because they are black, copper colored, so they appear to be Egyptian. Yeah, man. Gold, copper, they found everything. Can you imagine? Where is this stuff? Underneath the Smithsonian, or did they ship it over there and say it came from the Middle East today? Oh, this came from the Middle East. No, you just found it in Arizona, man. Which reminds me of the Kalalus artifacts. Shout out to AncientAmerica.com. Cyclone Covey, go get that book. We've been reading it live in the ether at 432 The Drop Radio. Found a whole bunch of artifacts in Arizona. A medieval handling of a kingdom of Jews who traced their antecedents back to the mighty King Benjamin, who had been brought to Rome from Sinai to build Oriel's wall and later was slain by the Thebans. That's crazy because they connected Cadmus with Thebes, right? They connected Cadmus with the Thebes. Yeah, founder of the Thebes, man. Okay. Yeah, we ain't gonna get all into it, right, but it connects back with the Toltecs, right? The Toltecs, Sylvanus Toltecs is 775 artifacts. They got King Jacob on the artifacts, yeah, a native of Britain. They're going to take our story and try to wrap it around themselves, but this is what they're finding in America. They're going to try to bring it back over there. But this connects with Israel II, right? They go right into the Toltecs from there. So you got artifacts connecting Israel, the Israel title, and the Toltecs in the 700 80s, BC 80s, one of those. So either way, it's pre-hijack. You got Israel the Fourth. All this is on artifacts coming out of Arizona. Manaka, this is why they sprayed the Cadmus, man, because they are over the promised land and they're trying to slow this dragon from raging on them, this fierce and violent dragon. They trying to make sure these Nagas never wake up, right? They don't want this dragon, this copper-colored dragon, this copper dragon. They don't want this dragon to rise. This is the definition of a dragon. They don't want this Comet Atlas meteor to rise. And they definitely don't want this fierce or violent Naga, this person, male or female, man or woman, is a dragon. They don't want this person to rise. Because that means you see clearly. That means you are fierce because you're fighting back. You violent because you want them off your land, male or female. This man or woman is a dragon. Yeah, they're finding the artifacts of the Dracons. They got the Hebrew on the artifacts coming out of Arizona. Just recon Thomas Bent, recon Cyclone Covey, Manier, Charles Manier, Ramani. This is where they stole the word Roman from. It just means pomegranate, connected with promised land. It's a good link, man. I love talking to Kalalus, but I just want to keep it, fresh in your mind bone. We got the Hebrew towels. These are just towels, man. It's got nothing to do with Christianity. These are two cross sticks, man. They got swords coming out of Arizona, but the Indians didn't have swords. Yeah, that means they're telling you lies about what this place is. This is not some place with just some teepees and Native Americans dancing around the teepees. This is civilization. This is civilization. What's that painting of Montezuma, man? Hold on, man. Montezuma painting, man. What? Where's the one I like? The real one. Yeah, something like this. Something like this, but I want the real one, right? We want the real one. Where's that? Where's that real one, huh? Oh, what's this? Where we at? Yeah. Con, you see these buildings in the background? You don't think these Nagas had swords? They just found this here, man. They found all this stuff here. Just like Santos just said, they just found all this stuff in Mexico, in America. And they repurposed it. Call it the White House. Call it the White House. They found the swords, the artifacts, everything already here. Yeah, Hebrew faking it, and now it's got to be fake because it don't fit the timeline. I'm just belly flopping, man. They called it a Roman Jewish colony in America. Stop it. You talking about a Romani, pomegranate promised land, Judah empire in America. This ain't no colony. We ain't visitors. This is the promised land, man. The promised land. All right, I'm just saying the promised land, the artifacts, connect with the G, Kincaid, all this flow that he's finding in the 30s. This is happening around the same damn time. And, I'm going to leave this link to the Yandex so you can get even more information on Kalalus in the Yandex, man. Everybody's warning us about this AI, man. Bernie Sanders is going crazy. He's... What did he say? Somebody said, man, you got to check out this Bernie Sanders. We get a minute, man. We got a minute. What's Bernie saying?
Mr. President, on behalf of his big tech billionaire backers, some of whom are the wealthiest people on the planet, President Trump wants to deny states the right to regulate artificial intelligence through an executive order. What he is proposing is not only unconstitutional, it is extremely dangerous. Artificial intelligence and robotics will transform the world. We don't know exactly how, and no one can predict with precision the timeline. But no one should doubt that enormous and consequential changes are coming, which will impact our economy, our political life, foreign policy, our emotional well-being, our environment, and how we educate and raise our kids. Automation and robotics could lead to nearly the loss of 100 million jobs in America over the next decade, including 40% of registered nurses, 47% of truck drivers, 64% of accountants, Every bit of research that we do on the internet will be available to the billionaire owners of AI. And if that is the case, how do we sustain a democracy under those conditions? Further, Mr. President, in terms of another vitally important question, could AI literally redefine what it means to be a human being? Could AI literally redefine what it means to be human?
Alchemical serpent.
Who we are and how we develop emotionally and intellectually is highly dependent upon our relationships with other human beings. Our parents, family, teachers, lovers, friends, and co-workers. To quote the 17th century poet John Donne, quote, "No man is an island unto himself." And